As data around the virus has come out, it appears that investors and the market have largely inured themselves to these continued growth in cases. Fair to say?
I completely agree. So certainly it's a huge change from where we are now versus March. And you're seeing that actual consumers, citizens are actually doing a lot of the mitigation efforts that the government had to do 3 or 4 months ago. So we're actually already seeing the growth rate of new cases is already starting to slow in the last couple of days. And that's happening prior to any of the government impositions going into place. And we think the backdrop for equities is actually very supportive and attractive anyway, and that this is not going to stand in the way of the economic recovery and the continued upward move in equities.
Yeah, and part of that, I think, goes to the fact that when I chat with people online, offline, on air, off air, whatever it is, they say, remember what we were told at the beginning, that absent a vaccine, the only way out of this is ultimate herd immunity, with Johns Hopkins saying about 70% of the country will need to at least get it or develop antibodies for us to move on. It appears that's kind of the way the market is processing the health data. Again, fair statement?
I think that's right. I mean, I think that there is a bridge between where we are now and to getting to a vaccine. I mean, if you look at what Pfizer has said, the CEO of Pfizer has said, they expect that in September, they're going to have data on both safety and efficacy for their vaccine, and that they expect, if all goes right, and so far it is, FDA approval in October. We're not that far away. So if you look at between now and October, you do have the warmer weather, you do have the slowdown in the rate of growth of these cases. So I think we can sort of muddle along from a case perspective. The economy continue to grow out of its bottom from March, where we can kind of get to that level back in October, November, December, where we actually start to see some vaccine doses come around.
Yeah, and we're not doing an RBI random but interesting today, but if we did, this would be it, Eric, because we know that big tech has run the show for a long time. No secret to our very smart viewers. We've highlighted the weight of big tech inside of ETFs and inside of the market. You've got a stat which actually blew my mind this morning, which is not only are the FANG M, so Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, and Microsoft, not only are they the biggest they've ever been in the S&P 500, but 6 stocks are now larger than 3 entire sectors of the stock market. Is that scary? Is that dangerous?
It's a pretty amazing stat. I don't think it's dangerous. But as you said, if you look at energy, industrials, and retail combined, all those names are less than 6 stocks that are part of FANG-M. We do think there is going to be a rotation, though, which I think is important to note. We think there's going to be a rotation into cyclical stocks. So as the economy begins to come out of the recession, you have personal income that's growing. You have the economic surprise index that currently is rising sharply. You have housing that is back to pre-COVID-19 levels. And so you have a lot of data out there that suggests that cyclical should actually start to outperform. It's clearly
we just quickly, I got to jump in. We're running out of time, but I want to make this point. We just had a guest on and said that some of the NASDAQ big tech are 4 times price to sales or more, some of the highest valuations we have seen in decades. Let me ask you this very basic question, Eric. Can the overall market, if I own an S&P 500 index fund, can the overall market go up if those 5 or 6 stocks go down?
The answer is yes. Okay. We think that the other 75% of the S&P has a significant move higher from here, and that we think that they can actually muddle the 6 stocks that make up 25%. I think they're going to be used as a source of funds and sort of muddle around, while the other 75% of the index actually takes the lead over the coming weeks and months.